So hello there, and so today we will basically be looking at to how you can be able to uh, transfer data from a PDF into Excel and clean this data clean data from a PDF into Excel. That is step one. You have data in a PDF, then you want to convert it into Excel and clean it. So we'll dive into it, how you go into it. So for you to do this, you first of all need to install Office 365. It's free. There's a free one for students, so you can look at how you can install this and then be able to convert your data from a PDF to this. So the data we'll be converting today, this is from Safaricom. It's Safaricom data on the income statement. This is what I want to transfer into my Excel. This is a PDF, financial statements for Safaricom for the year 2022. And what I actually need is this table for the income statement. Instead of transferring one item by item to Excel, I want to transfer the whole data to my Excel workbook. This is a statement of profit and loss. So first things you need to know exactly the table you want in the PDF and in which page it lays or what number of table it is. For this instance, I'll be looking at the page. This is page 192. This is where this data is in. You can see here. This is the PDF format. It is in page 192 of 282. So now we go back to Excel and this is our blank workbook. So what you do first, you go to your data tab and then get data. From file, there are several options available for you to take data from. You can take it as CSV, XML, JSON, PDF, folder, and from PowerPoint. There are also other options here from a database. This is available in 365 and also some of the Excel, the Office 2020 and 2018 and previous versions from all these. And then you can also combine queries. For today, we'll be looking at how you can import data from a PDF. So we'll just click and from PDF and open the file in it. What for me, this is the financial statement for the financial year 2022 for Safaricom, and you click on import. It takes some minutes for it to load. It will open up a new tab on your screen, as you can see. So give it some time for it to load, and as we give it some time, kindly subscribe and like, and also comment for the YouTube algorithm to do its thing. So it takes some time. So you can also look at some of the videos which can help you install Office 365, which will help you perform this action, which is take data from a PDF into Excel. It's very helpful having Office 365. The other, it's very helpful and also it's also free. So very helpful. Let's give it just some time. It varies depending on the laptop you're using, the processing power, and all these other factors. And now we are done. So it's table 192 as we had seen. So you just key in table 192, page 192, sorry. So there are two options. You can know exactly what number of the table is. That might be difficult if you have got a larger PDF to work with. So the easiest option to go with is know exactly the page at which the data is in. So for us, it's page 192. You can click on it once to preview, and you can see as this is a preview of if this is the real data we need. And as you can see, there's financial statements for the financial March 2022 statement of profit and loss and other, and this is exactly the data that we need. So all you need is transform data. You can opt to load, but by loading it will just it won't be clean data. You will not be able to work with a Power Query directly. So it's easier to load data first of all to confirm your data, rearrange your data for easy working in Excel, and make your data clean. So we click on transform data, and now let's wait for the Power Query to open tab. And there we go. There we have our Power Query. So what we'll be needing is basically very fair. We'll be needing, you can see here there's group and also this company. So the data we'll be needing is first of all for the group. So we can delete all this data that is here for the company. So you can increase this size for visibility purposes or even to maximize it. There we have. So this is the tab for the Power Query, and what you need is this data for a group. And so a group, this is group, so that these are the all you need is this first 1 2 3 the up to column 4. So the other data we won't be necessary for, no, sorry, you'll be needing data until column 6. So these other data is for company, so you can highlight on that column and then highlight all the remaining rows. There's option 1, you can right click and click on remove columns. These will remove all the columns. The other option, you can go to this tab here and remove columns. So let's remove those columns that way. And you can see as the same as in Power BI, there are applied steps here also in this Power Query in Excel, which helps you to track the changes you've made in your document. It's very easy. So if you need to go back to the document I've just uploaded, you just go back a step. As you can see here in this bit here of applied steps, the query settings, there's the change tab. This is the first document, and then as you make changes to the document there, it tracks down where you've gone and what you've done. So now the other thing we need to do, we need to clear the first rows. They are not of any importance for us in an income statement, that is the column 1 to 5. So to remove the top columns, the top rows, the row 1 to 5, they are of no importance. So you can actually, it's from 1 to 6, since now we know that the data we've been left with here is only for groups. So we have to get rid of the first 6 rows. So you just highlight there and then say remove top rows. And now you need to specify the number of rows you need to get rid of. For us, for this instance, is 6, and say okay. And there it is here. When I'll be working with this data, I will not be needing the notes column for now. So I might as well get rid of it. It's also another column to remove. So I can just highlight it. And now let's use this version and say just remove columns. And there we did. So even here, there's the null column. The same way with it, we won't be needing it, so we can also remove it. Then there's also the column 6, which is also null, and then remove it. And now what you've been left with is 2022 and 2021. So what you can do with this data, we can ensure that the first row becomes our headers. And how do we do this? We move to the transform bit, this transform tab here, over here. Then say use rows as headers, then use first rows as headers. So there we see, and there we go. You can see the first row here was our header. Sorry, here was our data, and now we've gone 2 steps further here in the applied steps, and now we've made the first rows our headers. So we can now just rename this one and call it input. Thank you. And then you can go to this other one and just let the labeling remain the same. That's nice. And now, as you can see, there's another function here. There are null values in our list, and we need to get rid of this. To know how to remove the null values, we highlight there and then uncheck the null bit. So how you go about this, and then say okay. So all you can decide the values you need in that column. As you can see here, this drop down over here, the filter over here, it helps you eliminate certain aspects that are there in your columns that you don't need them. So we eliminate the null, and now you can see our data is clean. So there's a null here that we didn't get rid of it simply because it was not in the column we unchecked the null in. So we can go to the next year which contains that null also and uncheck on null, and there we go. So sorry for that, and there we go. Now you can see null is no longer there. Our data is essentially clean to work with, so it's now time for us to load it into Excel. Now to load it into Excel, you go to the Home tab and then close and load, and then close and load. So the options, you can close and load to other places, but for this time we'll close and load because we're currently in Excel and it will load directly into Excel. So just click on that bit and give it some time for it to load into Excel. It also takes some minutes for it to load. As you can see here, it's processing the query under the query and connections. It's processing the data into Excel. It will take a minute or so before this data gets to load into Excel. And for the time being also, as we wait for this data to load into Excel, kindly subscribe, kindly share, kindly like, and yeah, let's wait for this data now to load into Excel. Also remember to go and look at my prior videos on how to use certain formulas, how to use it's here now already. So it gets loaded into here as it gets loaded here as a table in table format. So what you go about it is it would be hard to work it as a table, so you can just basically convert it into plain and raw data. So you can go to another sheet here and say use just a formula to copy it down also. is equals to this column, that, and then is equals to that cell, and then this one is equals to the other cell. So you can see now here it's not in table format, and now you can just drag down all this. Let's just first space this one for ease of visibility, and then highlight and drag down to some columns there. Sorry for that. So under the input, you can just insert this is equals to this cell. Then this one is equals to this cell. Sorry, is equals to that cell. Then this one is equals to that cell, and then you can just highlight that one and drag it down. Now it will bring down data from the other set. And there we have inputted all our data from this table into here. So for safety purposes, the best thing is now usually to copy all this data, Control C, and then you can paste it in the same place. I've a private video on how to paste values and so on. We still do this one. It's Alt H V S V. You copy and paste values. This is to eliminate the formulas and ensure that the what you have here is data input in hard code form. So Alt H V S V, and they've got you paste it as values. Now this error comes in here when you can see, first of all, our data is in form of that, but now it comes with an error. So what you just do is highlight this one, and now you need to convert all this data into numbers. Click on that warning sign there, and then click on convert into number, and you can see we've converted all these into number format, and that way we've been able to input our data into Excel, and now it's clean data. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching, and kindly subscribe and share and also comment. Thank you.